Dude, calm down. Get the clip already.
So what is this clip called? This clip you told me?
Bailey. It's actually the Bailey brothers. It's a character I want to get this guy to do with me again. Jim Foley, he's the Don Rickles of the 21st century. And we just play just once, and I tell him a story.
Okay. Okay, now we're playing Bailey. Okay.
Let's go to this bar, Bailey. Okay, let's just stop. Where we go? There it is. Bartender? Yeah. Give me a drink. Yeah, give me a drink, too. I make 2 drinks, right? 2 of them. Okay. Hey, you know what? What? I got a story to tell you. Another story? she died?
Boy, that was a tragedy. Boy, Almighty Dickinson lived there until the day she died.
She did.
How old was the poor woman when she died?
She was 92.
92? Amazing. 92, that's amazing.
Well, she was old enough.
Oh, 92, I think that is pretty old. Ah, poor lost creature. How old was she when she fell down, though?
92.
92!
She died 3 weeks later.
3 weeks? Boy, you made it sound like she spent her whole life down there, lying there, and dead and everything, in a one-room house, and what do you call it? Maloney, you've been telling me all these words, and now it's not even, makes no sense. It's insanitization. That's what it is. It's insanitization. I'm not going to take any more of your story. You're not my buddy. You're no more. You're a liar. Why are you telling stories? Why?
You know what I call it?
What?
I call it conversation.
Ooh.
And that was Bailey. Very funny.
Yeah, short for the Bailey brothers. But Jim's a funny guy. That's the clip he broke me up in that twice. You hear that?
Yeah.
I remastered it yesterday and added the music. I mean, the sound effects, rather. Now, I added the footsteps and I added the traffic noise and the screen door after the fact.
Yeah.
Yesterday. And you can hear it in stereo. I had, I think it was my second tape recorder. It wasn't the first one. It had 2 plugs. So Gary Beeler would bring over his microphone. I'd hold 2 microphones.
Mm-hmm.
I was the engineer, the director, the guy with the headphones on and the little cassette thing. I'd be telling everybody what to do. And I would say, you're going to do this whole scene from beginning, middle, end, no editing. You know why Laurel and Hardy are so funny? Because they used to shoot like a stage proscenium and film the whole movie in one shot, and then they go back and do a couple of, close-ups and takes, cut them in. The reason their movies in the 40s are not as good as the movies in the 30s is when they left Hal Roach, they left the creative freedom of that style, which was a silent movie style that Hal Roach was still doing, even though it was sound movies. And then their later films are very funny. They're much funnier than I think they're given credit for, and some of them are actually quite good, like the Jitterbugs and The Big Noise, which was supposedly such a horrible film, according to Leonard Maltin many years ago. I believed him, and then I sat down and watched it, and I went, no, this is a good movie. You're just older, and it's a little slower, and it's a different style because the 40s was different. So Jitterbugs is great. If you like 40s, like Jitterbug music, this movie's fantastic. And they don't get overwhelmed by everyone else. It's got a couple of good songs in it, It's not Hal Roach. It doesn't have the rinky-tinky music under it. It's not as slow. Everything happens quicker. Stan doesn't have enough time in those films to be able to do his bit, to really let it stretch out and be funny. The music hall style is very slow compared to the burlesque style, which is what Abbott and Costello was. Everything's like bang, 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 bang. Bring the naked girl out. Bang, 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 bang. Bring the naked girl out. That's where Abbott and Costello comes from. That's why in the TV shows, in the first season, I'm not only, he's always, the woman walks in front of him with the card. Abbott and Costello with these guest stars, with these other actors. Why does that woman always walk in front of me? Well, we got to tell the people who are going to be on the show, but why in front of me every time she walks by? Oh, look, that's a pretty girl. Yeah, you're looking at her legs? No, I'm above that. That's a Bob Greenberg. That's a Bob Greenberg. He'll throw it in. I got to know. I have to know. Bob Greenberg, very talented man, and I got to be on my toes with him, which I am. I'm up to it. We have a great time. And he also does Oliver Hardy with a wonderful actor named Jonathan Smith, who does a great Stan Laurel. I mean, unbelievable. And Bob also is great as Jackie Gleason, the great one. Boy, that's good. And he does a funny bit as Gleason where he does him doing Shakespeare. It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So it's lines from, I'm not going to do it because I'm not Bob. I'm not as good as Bob in that regard. He does it so well. He That's gosh, Elroy. See, Dad, that was Don Butler. And this was his son, Charles Butler, Chaz's hat. And when I left L.A. to come back to New York in the early, about 20 years ago, he gave it to me. He was wearing it all the time. I mean, it's got Chaz Butler's sweat in it. Over here from the sweat. But it it's a treasure to me. Means something. Doss Butler's son gave me this hat. Jack Benny gave me his tie. Mel Blanc gave me things. I have, a lot of it's gone, and because I'm not very sentimental about things, but it's so wonderful. I can't keep everything.
Yeah.
Phil Silvers might say, if I get everything, where would I put myself?
Yeah.
Let me pinch those little cheeks. Come on. There was a debate on Facebook the other day as to who was the better Phil Silvers impersonator, Arnold Stang or Doss Butler. Because I just said they're both great. But they're different. A couple of people who don't like me as a voice actor because they can hear me in my voice. Mm-hmm. Well, you know why? Because you can hear Mel Blanc in his voice. You can hear Doss Butler. If Paul Frees does a Peter Lorre, he's going to sound different than somebody else's. Just a little bit. I can do Paul Frees voices, and I knew him, and I know his son, Fred Frees, who's just as talented.
I've interviewed Fred Frees, his son. I've interviewed Fred.
So talented. We got to work together a couple times. But he can do Ludwig von Drake so well. And with that German accent, I can't do it as good as he can. I'm not as crazy. But Paul Frees would do the Orson Welles narrator a lot. He did everything. He did Terry Thomas, I say, do this, you see, and talk like the British upper crust, you see, Terry Thomas. And then, but his Orson Welles was like, he would talk like this. I am Orson Welles, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the war of the worlds, and everything was very serious. And I used that voice for the narration of a book, another book I just put out, of a book that was written in 1821.
Wow.
And it's a parody history of the United States by David Ogden Stewart, who is a great writer, wrote the Philadelphia Story film. He's friends with Alexander Wolcott and the Algonquin Club. He was a friend of Hemingway, and Hemingway actually used him as a character in one of his books. This man was a genius, and it was written a year after World War I ended, and it's an anti-war book, So he wrote it in these different styles of the writer of the day, Fitzgerald and the people he knew. And so I took it, and I did it as Stan Laurel. I certainly did. And Oliver J. Harvey. Because I can become those really fast, and so I read it that way. I was doing the Scottish ball. James Finlinson, and talking like that. And then I did for Priscilla, I did Miles and Priscilla. Priscilla was drunk most of the time, but when she wasn't, she was really Zazu Pitts. Oh dear, oh my, Zazu Pitts, yes, it's like olive oil in the 1930s. It's based on her. Oh my, Popeye. And that's Zazu Pitts. And so that's what these became. And then became one of them was the Marx Brothers with Christopher Columbus, kind of similar in a way to what I did earlier, where Chico Marx is Columbus and Groucho is Ferdinand, and Margaret Dumont is Queen Isabella, and then Harpo is the magician.